right. Hello, everyone. This is Bohemia on Ruckus Avenue Radio. Today, I have the honor of sitting next to Harry of Godfather Entertainment. Um, Harry is a legend in the game. But personally, the way I look at you, sir, you're sort of the Steve Jobs of West Coast hip hop sound. West Coast hip hop sound being the iPhone that has now changed. iPhone has changed the way everyone makes phones, use phones, communicates. West Coast hip hop sound has changed music around the world. How music is made, how hip hop has grown. You're sort of the Steve Jobs. You were the pioneer of initiating this movement that then gave birth to Death Row Records and so many legends that now we look up to. Today, 2024, how do you feel and where do we sit with Godfather Entertainment? What's the present? What's the future?
Well, it's my honor to be here. And what you have done with the music is over the top. So I'm just honored to be here and sit with you and talk to you about your journey as well as mine.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been some time since Godfather first appeared. It's been over 30 years. And Godfather introduced Death Row to the world. Actually, it was during the week of the Grammys back in 1992. We basically came out and let the people know that we were about to hit it with a storm, you know?
That's right.
And then the rest is history, man. It's been a lot of drama, but it's been a lot of success. But Godfather and Death Row original journey was to be able to shed light to a community that was a lot of times hidden, be able to tell stories and narratives that other people had decided that shouldn't be told or wasn't worth telling. And we took it upon ourselves to tell our own stories. And since then, of course, I'm not saying we created hip-hop because we didn't, but we created a different type of storytelling for our community. Good, bad, or indifference, we was telling stories about what we actually saw, felt, and thought about on a daily basis. So just to see, 3 decades, a little bit over 3 decades go by, and to see some of the success stories as well as the tragedies that has been stricken upon us. It's been a powerful journey, that because I'm always trying to figure out what do I learn from this. I don't really just like we shouldn't have did this, we shouldn't have did that, but what is it that I learned from what happened?
Yes.
And music is one of the most powerful mediums to communicate with other people, not just people in your presence, but around the world. And just talking to you today made me realize how these balls are connected, how you connect these dots around the world and how people are affected from different cultures, but we are human beings who have stories to tell. And being able to use this medium to do so connects us in ways that no other way can.
True. Well, I mean, not a lot of times, the positive impact of your success and what you have given to the music industry is not highlighted a lot. So I think my existence as a Punjabi rapper, a creator of a genre of music, which is Desi hip hop, that in itself should be a positive, something that, you should be, I just want to let you know that what you started has gone to a level where it's given birth to genres in different countries and different subcontinents like India, where now rap music, I'm safe to say, is one of the biggest genre in India, the biggest genre that's growing. Not a single Bollywood movie is made without someone rapping in it. It's just impossible to connect with the youth in India without giving them hip hop music. So I think a lot of credit goes back to you. My question is that when the West Coast hip hop genre, you were in those times when you were thinking about, you were the first person in the world to hear the Chronic album when it was made. And sort of like, just cannot even imagine, I'm sure some of my listeners are just cannot even imagine being that person who's given the Chronic album. And did you ever think, my question, I guess, did you think that the impact of that album was going to be what it is today around the world? It's created rap music around the world. The genre itself started in West Coast, and the sound of West Coast even eventually affected the original sound of hip-hop, which was started on the East Coast.
Yes, sir.
They even eventually had to... How did you know the impact was going to be this big?
Well, I'd be lying if I told you I knew it was going to be this big, but I knew it was going to be big. And it's funny that you said hearing the Chronic for the first time. I was away. I was gone away for like 33 years. And so the Chronic was delivered to me on the inside. Yes. And at the time, people were still on the heels of NWA. Ice Cube was at this particular time. Ice Cube, Ice-T, a few other artists they were doing their thing, and so when Dr. Dre had left NWA, a lot of people didn't really know who he was, even though he was the architect of the music. He was the producer of all the music for NWA. But when he came to Death Row, we decided that he'd be best as president.
Wow, so before Death Row, Dr. Dre is more of a group member of NWA. He's known in conjunction with all the artists.
Right, and Eazy is kind of like the star.
Eazy is the star,
and DOC was a budding star. He actually went platinum. But as NWA was as a collective, as a group, so, you knew them as like Ice Cube came from that. So, and then when they had a dispute, and Ice Cube left, it was kind of like a little rival, and people was paying attention to them more than when Dr. Dre left. So, but when Dr. Dre created his own company with us, it was like, okay, what is this? But it was like when the first time you heard him as a solo artist, you heard him with Snoop Dogg's voice, his melodical voice.
Yes.
And it was on 187 Undercover Cop. Yeah. And that's the first time the world got to hear this new combined sound and saw Dr. Dre as an artist as well as a producer. So where I was at, a lot of people wasn't really like checking for that. So I had told them about it, I said, man, we got this new album coming out. That was like, guys like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then once it hit the radio, I had a line from here to down the block, people begging to hear the sound, because that's how we are sometimes. Like, until it's recognized in the world, people don't hear it. But once they start hearing that music, it became a staple.
That's surreal to hear that. That's a story that I personally identify with so much because we in the South Asian world, Southeast Asian world, Bollywood is the industry. That's the big.
That's the big kahuna.
Right. And we the little kids outside that want to be recognized and want to have. I still remember being the little kid in Peshawar in Pakistan, running around barefoot, playing in the dirt. And just having our representation, our sound up there was just like we at first felt impossible, and then having somehow working with the guts that no, we should. What's coming out of me let's just put it out there. Let's fight that battle.
But how did you go from that kid standing there hoping and wishing you could be a part of that machine, and coming to America and honing in on your craft and creating a whole style of music. How did that happen?
Now that I look at it, I myself sometimes feel really, and it feels an out of body. I have an out of body experience that I did it. It's like a, I don't even. It's this imposter syndrome. Sometimes I go through that. But at the time, I think it was the Bay Area. I'll give it all up to the Bay Area. I'll give it up to. As a little kid, I wanted to be a poet. And then at the end of the day, it was the death row sound. It was the music that was produced that came out of death row so bluntly, so unapologetically, that the more the energy I understood it. Initially, I won't lie to you, I was a fan of poets like Mirza Ghalib, which is a 17th century Persian poet from Delhi, India, and these guys, did poetry for the kings,
right.
Sad, literally. And this is what I kind of look up to, and Faz Ahmad Faz, and these poets that then made ghazal music and Sufi music. These are the classical genres, Shakespearean.
In India.
So initial experience of me listening to rap music, I didn't like it.
Right.
I was like, what is this?
You didn't like the sound, or you didn't like the lyrics? Because did you understand the lyrics, or
no,
you didn't?
I didn't. The little bit that I understood, it was too much. It was too aggressive. Right. It was too blunt.
Right.
It didn't give me time to get to the message of it. I was shunned away by the presence of it. It's like some kids from a Bay Area block coming out of a car and just walking out of their car. You're pulling out in your parking lot, and the car doors are opening. Maybe there's some aroma, there's some loud music, maybe they're pulling their pants up, maybe it's an environment that if you're not exposed to it, you're threatened by it.
Imaginary fear. It creates
imaginary fear.
Yeah, imaginary fear because of the unknown.
It's unknown.
Yeah, I see that.
That's how I felt about hip hop. When I got introduced more to it, I listened to rappers, and I started listening to the lyrics. I started listening to, Tupac and his lyrics, Ice Cube, some of the Nas lyrics. Today Was a Good Day, Ice Cube.
Right.
You listen to tracks that then the culture, I was living the hip hop culture in the Bay Area. Then I understood it. And it just gave me, that's the answer to your question. I needed that. That's the spark that I needed.
To give you context.
I did not need to copy the culture word for word.
Right.
I just needed to get the tools, the vehicle, and itself. Then that created the. If I didn't have that, I would definitely be. I don't know what I would. I think that energy would have had to be suppressed.
Yeah, and that would have been a tragedy because just watching your video earlier, and seeing the energy that you was transporting into that song, into that environment where you were practicing on getting down at. If that would have never happened, the world would have been slighted of that. You know what I mean? They'd have been at a loss. I really think they've been at a loss.
So the credit goes back to you. I cannot say that enough. The credit goes back to to the movement that was started. You partnered up with Snoop Dogg. Shout out Snoop Dogg. We are all fans of Snoop Dogg. I would love for you to come to India with me, come to Pakistan with me, and just to see what I'm saying. Okay, you say the word Snoop Dogg and any of we call it pins. That's like the towns, the hoods. Go to any pen and say the word, and I best believe you. Well, you might even see a kid or two down the street and on a bicycle going down and say, hey, he's wearing a Tupac shirt or a Snoop Dogg shirt. That's how the penetration is. You're working with Snoop, and we all as fans know dog. We see him chilling, mostly medicating himself, twisting. So, your relationship with him as a business partner?
Well, I like to say as a brother more than anything. And of course, we business partners. We do business together. We have a unique situation based on me creating a label and him becoming one of the superstars of the label, the main superstar, the first superstar of the label, and then coming back and acquiring it. So it's like we have a strong bond. I consider him my brother. I don't. That's how we consider each other. And we're working together to try to create a different trajectory for Death Row that, turn it into a conglomerate, an empire, international conglomerate, because I hear we go places, I watch how people respond to him when he pull up, when he comes somewhere. I mean, all races, they love him. And he makes himself available to those opportunities when he got a chance to engage his fans, It's not fake with him. It's real with him. It's a constant, everyday grind for him, because he works hard. He does a lot of different things, but he always makes sure that he reaches out and stay connected to his fans worldwide. Yeah. The people that really like Snoop Dogg. You know what I mean? I mean, it's weird, man. Even for me, like sometimes when I just see it, it's like you never can get used to it, but he does somehow. He's just the same.
Keep coming up with funky every single day.
Every single day. Yeah, so we got a lot of things. Some things we can't talk about right now. They're in the mix. Okay. And we're doing a documentary together.
Can you give us a little bit something from Godfather Entertainment and Death Row?
Well, I mean, I can talk about some things. I'm just saying certain things you want to have that impact, when people say, wow, I didn't see that coming, But, people, it's out there that we're doing Death Row Pictures. Is a new division. We believe Death Row Pictures is going to be as impactful as Death Row Records was in the 90s in this present time. We believe the type of stories we're going to be producing and marketing to the world are going to be something that resonate with the young people that we work with. And so we're looking forward to that. We got biopics, we got documentaries coming out. And we open for other people with stories that we could partner up with, make things happen. So Godfather, though, has kind of been dormant for years, but now we're kind of getting back out there supporting international music. We just think that, like music that's from your region of the world, I just think that the more people have an opportunity to connect with it and enjoy it, they will enjoy it. I mean, it's like you have to give people access. So Godfather started his first annual event in the same weekend of the Grammys, the night before the Grammys. It's called the Global Affair. Right. And it's about recognizing music outside of the United States.
All right.
And using that platform and that time to always celebrate artists outside of the United States during that weekend of the Grammys. At the same time, bringing international attention and local, domestic attention to international sounds and budding stars.
That is so exciting to hear. First of all, Godfather Entertainment is the company that put out Death Row. Death Row is the company that has given us so many legends, just so that people understand how the companies are working.
But we all connected.
You're all
Godfather and Death Row is connected.
It's all connected, and now the future is just like the music happened in the 90s, the future is the films. See?
Yes, the film.
This is so exciting, especially for us, Stacey hip-hop artists and artists in Southeast Asia. Because, man, Bollywood is just... we need just like hip-hop gave us a voice, gave us a chance to do what we do musically, we do need a platform for movies, because enough is enough. I think the youth needs a platform where they have the voice. Hip-hop music gave us that. We need the same kind of medium in the movie area. One thing that I've been sitting with you, speaking with you, and before you entered, I read a lot about you. I'm a big fan, just to begin with. It's an honor to be sitting here with you. One thing I cannot help to notice is you're sharp. You could probably outrun me. Could do more push-ups than me. When we read about you, we see so many ups and downs, so much drama, so much that any person might break under the pressure of. I see you very calm, thank God, very healthy. And how do you do it? What kind of advice do you give to the youth that think hip hop music is about, partying late nights and drugs and drinking and just like this recklessness? How do you separate yourself from that? What advice do you have? How did you do it?
Well, I just got to be honest with you. Like we all go through a useful misbehaving and the lack of wisdom. Most of us suffer from the lack of wisdom.
Lack of wisdom.
And unfortunately, we're not accepting of wisdom. We feel like we need to go through whatever we need to go through when it's actually not necessarily true. It's hard to tell people that when they're young and fiery and believe they know everything. They don't know what's at the end of the tunnel. But, I was able to be that young, youthful person who thought I knew everything as well. And I had somewhat of an ear to listen, but at the same time, I'm no different from nobody else. I feel like I got to go through it. I think I know it all. And so hopefully one of the things that when I sit down with people like yourself and we talk to young people who I pray that's listening, that they hear that they could be sharp in reverse, if you know what I mean. Like they don't have to go through what I went through and so many other people went through before they get it. It's just this thing about patience. I had to learn it. When you go and do what I did, as long as I did it, and there's nothing you can do to expedite, if you will, your situation. Right. You have to learn patience. You got to know God. You got to know a power bigger than you. Because until you know that, you're just like everybody else, confused. But once you know that, it brings a peace within you that nobody can interrupt. And so I think that's what drives a lot of people insane or crazy or make them do crazy things is the lack of that wisdom, that just a day at a time, and you need to be in the presence of that day. Right. You can't be caught up in the past. I'm not saying you don't deal with past issues. I'm not saying that you don't prepare for the future, but I'm saying people do not spend enough time in the present, because in this present moment is where you develop whatever happens next if you're allowed to have another day on this earth. So when I was away, I always stayed present. I studied, I read, I wanted to know what was going on in the world. I wanted to keep up with trends and I refused to shut myself off, even though I was in a controlled and locked off environment. I entertained myself mentally so that I could stay, as you say, sharp, because, and I appreciate that. And I worked out, and I still work out. I work out, I box, do exercise, I do cardio, because it's important to work every aspect of the muscle, not just the physical muscle, but the brain muscle. Yes. That keeps you from atrophy. It keeps you from all kind of things. So,
reading? Do you do a lot of reading?
I did a lot of reading. Yeah. I did a lot of reading. And what that does in that kind of situation is it allows you to live vicariously through others. So, you can't presently go do what you want to do. You can learn from what other people do. It may not be 100% what really happened, but most of the time you're able to digest what you need to digest from somebody else's life until you're able to live it, 100% yourself.
Hip-hop, the genre itself, it has such a like playing with fire type of value to it. You
understatement.
The way you say it, I think you somehow genetically, or I don't know how you had that. In Urdu, we use the word tarao, which is like sustainability, somehow being able to stay in the now and make the decision, the calm decision. You know, you have that, somehow you had that in you, and which, when put in a certain situation, got exercised more, and you actually did it more and more and more, to where it became a way of, you did your business then, which was with very, the more you were in the volatile situation, the more calm you were able to make yourself. So very personal, I think, skill that you have.
Well, see, that's why it's important that when we move into the cinematic version of our storytelling, that you really be as accurate as possible in terms of triumphs and pain, so people can see the journey for real, not for fake. You know what I mean? And that's why it's so series, or sometimes it's best to do series, so that way you can really digest the story instead of trying to slap something into a feature film. Some things are feature film structured, and some things are better structured on a serial basis, so you can continually get the gems from it. And that's what I'm looking to do. I don't want to. It's not about glorifying my past or other people's past. It's about telling real human stories that people can identify with, no matter where they are in the world. And of course, mixing music as those decades took place, so people can see where it came from, where it went. They could see how much people used to put into the music when we first started. Because sometimes you can listen to the lyrics by itself and it would be strong, and you can listen to the tracks that was created to support the songs by itself, and it can exist by itself. That's how much everybody was doing their part to make sure that they would hit songs. It wasn't just go in the studio, do a song, and throw it out there. I mean, it was like, no, take that out, add this. You're dealing with professionals. Even though we came from the urban city, these guys took their craft really serious. And even today, there's some things that'll be coming out this year. You're going to see that certain people still got it. And that's important. So in terms of music, we're just trying to figure out the best way that we can be supportive of new artists. And not just jump out there and just be in the way, but really be supportive, because there's a lot of confusion in the music business now. And I just think that we need to help try to bring some clarity. So when I say Godfather Entertainment, it's not just a name, it's just a way of life. It's a way we approach the people that we engage with advice and some of the wisdom that we done acquired over the years. And, so it'll be management, it'll be concerts. We want to do real nice concerts. We want to do nice mixtures of concerts, so that I just think that that's a area that we haven't really, we make, like Snoop Dogg, he performs. Some of the other Death Row artists still perform, but to be able to open up that avenue for other artists, we really want to get into that real big in the coming year.
Man, just between India and Pakistan, just those two countries, you're speaking way over 1 billion people in population.
Big numbers, love it.
Way over 1 billion.
Beautiful.
I'm talking about majority of these people are using hip hop as their way of life, as people are around the world. We love Bollywood.
Disclaimer.
Our parents love
it.
Yeah,
we love them.
But we cannot thank you enough for giving us the sound of hip hop and the music and something that I don't know if you fully realize is that along with the sound came the culture, came the way of doing business, came a way of artists standing on their own feet and feeling more of an entity than just a Bollywood. Nothing against it, but the majority of the artists in Bollywood would be considered playback artists. So it means you got artists, you got lyricists writing for you, you got producers producing for you, you got a director telling you how to sing, and someone composing and saying, hey, literally you have to shut your own feelings out and perform. And hip-hop.
It's like a Disney production where they have Disney stars, but you guys created an independent lane for yourself.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So now we are vertically integrated. Most of us are poets ourselves, writers ourselves. I came in as sort of the first one, but after me, so many beautiful artists and amazing rappers have come along that have expanded the genre further. They're doing way amazing things, even more than me. Taking the genre more into the pop lane, taking the more genre in the cultural lane, giving expansion to the sound of hip hop. Godfather going into the movie scene only gives me goosebumps because I can only think of the artists like me that used the genre that just did not think Bollywood gave me the tools that I needed. I can only think of so many great artists that are actors and producers and movie writers that just don't feel that Bollywood is their lane. Yet they don't have any other lane. They don't have any other way to express
themselves.
If Godfather was to be what you have done in the through Death Row, what you have done in the hip hop in the music scene, if even a 10% of that is to be done in in our scene and given us this.
Is this an invitation? Because we
it's a question. It's a question. It's a request. I
wouldn't use the word if. It's just when. I don't think our meeting was an accident. I just think that God don't make mistakes. People do. It'll be our mistakes not to elevate this to another situation. I mean, because I'm from here. You came here. You got what you got, and look what you done built since then. And so for us to connect the dots and we come over there and we sit down and see how we can be supportive to what needs to be supported.
Amazing.
We open to it. Yeah.
All right.
And Snoop Dogg is always talking to me about connecting on the international plane. He's already worked with some artists in different countries and the sky's the limit. But now we just want to...
Snoop loves Indian culture. He loves chicken tikka masala. You have to try that with me.
Okay,
I don't know if you like spicy food or not.
Yeah, no, I love it.
You have to try them. I have to play some Punjabi music for you.
Yes, sir.
Check that out. And
gotta hear that.
So this is a positive note for your fans in India and Pakistan, and to expect something from Death Row and Godfather.
Man, it'd be rude for me to not follow through. Once you gave me an invitation, I gotta show up. Godfather shows up.
That's right.
It does what it do.
So all you artists, get ready.
Get it together. We taking this show on the road, international. I love to come there and just really engage the culture and just take it in, see how we can.
I think you'll love it. I think you'll love. I would love to take you to Punjab, to the Pen culture, not the Delhi and Mumbai. That's the guy is very Americanized, so to speak. I would love to take you to the, to where we. I
want to see it all. I want
culture.
I want to see the part that was Americanized, and I want to see the part that hits your heart the most.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see it. I want to feel it. You know what I mean? I want to be connected to it.
Yeah.
Because whatever that is, it's inside of you. That's what's been coming out of you, and I want to see because it just feels familiar from where I come from. Just it's like even though we may be on the other side of the world, it's clear that we connected in spirit. So it'd be my honor to come there. Wow. Yes, sir.
All right, guys. You might see the boss, Godfather himself in India very soon.
That part.
Before we end I don't want to end the conversation. First of all, this is an honor to sit next to you. You have initiated something that has changed so many lives that I think I lack words to explain how you still are active which makes us really excited to see and are taking it to the next level. That is just a blessing for us and our to be alive in this lifetime and see the progression of it. It's not over yet, so to speak.
No, it's a blessing to even be in a position to be able to. I got good people around me, and I didn't do this by myself. It's a team, and it's good people, man. Good people always rise to the top. You know, some people forget about you, but those people are not worth talking about. But the people who remember and appreciate and make themselves available for you, and tell me over and over how they appreciate what we started. It's a lot to take in. You know, I mean, I'm seeing it, I'm watching it. I talk to different people from all ilks, all walks of life, and you would think that, death row was yesterday, but it's still today. And I just think the whole death row family, and and Snoop Dogg as a leader now.
Shout out
to Snoop Dogg and his beautiful family. You know, this is a rough time, but he's a strong king. You know, so I'm proud of him. You know, to see what he has accomplished over the years and continues to accomplish, and he set the bar high. You know, on the entrepreneur level, he's not just a performer.
Oh yeah.
He's a businessman, trust me. If I tell
you. Global.
And a lot of people would like to be connected to this brand. And I don't know if you know, but this year he's hosting the Olympics.
All right.
In Paris, so he's going to go worldwide. So we want the support from India, you know.
That's awesome. You'll have all the Indian Pakistani friends.
Then Indian and Pakistani, our next move would be there. We coming.
All right.
We got to set that up. Okay.
You heard it, guys.
Thank you. Was there anything else you?
Before I end, I think it'd be unfair if I end the interview without the last question. Godfather gave us Death Row. Death Row gave us legends, living legends. Some legends that are not with us anymore. From you, once I say the name, I would like to hear what comes to your mind. Tupac Shakur.
Gone too soon. Gone too soon. That's what comes to my mind. That he was truly not just a hip-hop treasure, but a beautiful individual. We all got our faults. We all got our pluses and negatives. But in terms of what he was just a ball of energy. And I just think that when you have people like that come into your life or come into your organization, you have to be very appreciative of it and manage those situations and protect those kind of people. Because it's a tragedy that the world didn't get to experience, including myself, more of him and what was in him. But I know that he set the tone for a lot of artists. So I know that we'll see a lot of Tupacs and Snoop Dogg's in other artists in our near future because they set the bar high. And I'm always looking out for the next Tupac or the next Snoop Dogg because to me, that's what keeps their name alive. When other people come out on their own individual creativity, but inspired by what they put out there. That's what I'm looking for. The next. That part.
All right.
Yeah.
Amazing conversation.
Thank you.
Mr. Harrio, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Ruckus Avenue Radio.